Ever feel like things are happening in government, nobody's really watching? Well, that's where inspectors general come in. They're these independent watchdogs, right?
Right.
Making sure there's no waste, fraud, abuse of power.
Yeah.
Basically keeping things honest no matter who's in charge.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting is that they're appointed to their positions, not elected.
Okay.
Which is supposed to give them a little more freedom from all that political pressure. You know?
Right. That makes sense. So it's January 25th, 2025, and Donald Trump is back in the White House.
Back in the saddle.
And he makes this, well, a pretty big move. He fires 17 inspectors general.
Yeah.
In one night.
From all sorts of agencies, right?
Yeah, we're talking State Department, Transportation,
Homeland Security.
like major agencies. But you know what's interesting?
What's that?
The Justice Department Inspector General Michael Horowitz, he's still there. At least for now.
For now, yeah.
So this is where things get, well, a little complicated. What happens when you just remove all these like internal watchdogs?
Well,
is that even legal?
It definitely raises questions, right? There's a law that says the president has to give Congress 30 days notice before firing an inspector general.
30 days.
And they've got to have a reason, too. It's not just, I don't like you, you're fired.
Right. So what was Trump's reasoning here?
That's the thing. It doesn't seem like he gave one, at least not publicly.
So potentially illegal then?
Potentially, yeah. And even if it turns out to be legal, think about the precedent it sets. Any president could just fire whoever they want, whenever they want. Yeah. No accountability.
Yeah, and it's not just about potential corruption, right? I mean, these inspectors general, they also make sure things are running smoothly.
Exactly. Think of it like a car, okay?
Okay.
You need those mechanics to make sure the engine's running right, that the brakes work.
Otherwise, things fall apart.
Exactly, you crash. And in this case, it's not just one car, it's the whole government machine that could break down.
And we've seen this before, haven't we? I mean, this isn't Trump's first time clashing with inspectors general.
Right. Back in 2020, he removed a bunch of them, including the one at the State Department who was, well, being involved in his first impeachment.
Yeah, that's right. The whole Ukraine thing. So there's a pattern here.
A pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that. Now, to be fair, President Biden also dismissed an inspector general in 2022, but the situation was totally different. There was an investigation, evidence of a hostile work environment.
Okay. Yeah, not a mass firing like this.
Right.
So what are people saying about this?
Yeah, it's...
I bet it's pretty divided.
Yeah, you could say that.
What are you seeing?
Senator Elizabeth Warren, she came out strong, called it a purge, you know, said it was going to lead to rampant corruption.
Okay, so not a fan. And on the other side?
Well, Sidney Powell, who's a big Trump supporter, she defended the firings, said the existing inspectors general were worthless.
Worthless. Strong words.
Yeah.
It's interesting, though, how this all connects to, like, the bigger picture of government, checks and balances and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. This isn't just about Trump. It's about, well, a fundamental principle of democracy, right?
Right.
Making sure that power, no matter who has it, is held accountable.
Okay, so let's break this down. Trump fires a whole bunch of inspectors general. It's possibly illegal, definitely controversial.
Right.
It raises questions about corruption, efficiency, all that.
Yeah, and about the future, too, you know? What happens if this becomes the norm?
Right. What message does this send? Does it weaken people's trust in the government?
It certainly could.
It makes you think, doesn't it, about the state of our democracy?
It does, and it makes you wonder, what can citizens do to ensure that those in power are held accountable?
That's a great question.
Because this isn't just about one president. It's about the system as a whole.
It's about the future of our democracy, really.
Yeah.
That's something to think about, isn't it? What role do we all play in this whole thing?
Absolutely.
Well, that's our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And remember, stay curious, stay informed, and keep asking those tough questions.